Yo. Alright, quick little update on Ethereum. So I have a chart here as a reference to what I think Ethereum could do. Um, the only difference is that I think Ethereum has the possibility of going above this high, this high, and this high. But this is just a comparison to the past. So let's go back and read my Ethereum thread if you want real-time updates, because I'm not going to be making videos all the time. So if the market moves quickly, you're going to have to go to this thread. Just write this into your browser, okay? So from 2340, I'm talking about this, okay? And now the next pullback is probably worth buying for a long. And I said how ETH has very limited time to do this because this is my view of the stock market here. Again, I just made an update video of the stock market. And then I said this is the most bullish chart. A pullback at some point is likely. It will probably be 10 to 20%, but holy fuck, I've never seen a bullish chart like this. This is so stupid. It has so many equal highs. It is literally, except with price action, objectively this has to be the craziest chart I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything with as much liquidity as this. Never. Okay? I pointed this out. Obviously, you know that there's a possibility from a liquidity standpoint. Sweep 2.1k to 1.8k, let's say. 4.1k incentive to go higher after sweeping 430. So stop loss below at equal loss is crazy. Everyone will short Ethereum because they're clueless. Then fuck the bears and get the ETH on the ultimate high. This is the most bullish scenario. The move below 2.1k will be manipulation. XRP did this just a few months ago below 40 cents. Now it's $3. Thinking ETH is similar. This is what I thought. Um, How could ETH go from 1800 to 4.1k in just a few weeks or not? I'm not saying it will, but this happened during distribution back then. ETH did a 3x from 1400 to 4k, while BTC was going sideways. There could be a rotation from XRP sold BTC into ETH, and ETH could go to above 4.1k equal highs. ETH should get strength back after it sweeps these equal lows at 2.1k. That's what's making it weak, in my opinion, that no one with a brain will buy for those equal lows during a manipulation move. Okay? So what I'm referring to is this. And as you can tell here, I had a fucking X down here. Uh, Here's my logic, you see the same thing here, equal lows, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's a 20% bounce in between here, 4, 5, 6, and a capitulation, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, grind against it, 6 capitulation. We dropped 35% beneath it, not 50%, okay? So, my logic here is, or was rather, um, where is it? I don't remember where my ETH BTC chart was. Oh, whatever. It's okay. We can discover that later. I had it in my last Ethereum video. Thinking this for a pullback, either it gets right now or it comes after 2050, gets up by 3%, pullback's like 10 to 20%. Extremely high conviction that ETH runs about 2050, fairly confident about 3450, we'll see about 4100. But it makes sense to do that too. Steep liquidity to deviate back below is a sign of a likely pullback. Kind of doing that right now. About 2050 is where the real stop loss are. The only thing that can ruin is if the stock market omega pranks ETH with a rug, as if the stock market goes down a straight line. There's a 90% chance to go about 2050. I've written this here, okay? And you have these reference points. So this right here is where we're at right now, in my opinion. This is what we still haven't swept. This is what we still haven't swept, and this is the ultimate sweep. Okay. So it has the market structure to go all the way above. All right. But again, I've gone over most of this. I just have to repeat this because it's really important for context. Um, you're not gonna hear me talking about shorting Ethereum here at all either with this market structure. Here I wrote 60 minutes ago. I'm de-risking a bit here on ETH. Why? One sec. Let me cough. I'm de-risking a bit here on ETH. Space is in a really scary spot here, similar to March of 2022. I am not implying that plays out right now. There is not enough evidence in the chart to suggest that to take bearish trades. I'm simply observing this, right, and taking some profits on Ethereum from when I turned bullish at the beginning of the thread. Okay? So the beginning of the thread right here, okay? And look, this is what I think you're gonna find to be really impressive, other than everything else I have correctly gotten correct about Ethereum. This is not something that I came up with on the spot now. This is a plan that I've had for a long time, okay? TP1, TP2, TP3, TP4. Now I decided to just move it. TP1, TP2, TP3, TP4, okay? I have written everything here. If this, then that. Get it? ETH is stayed at 2.0 if BTC ranges and crash after it sweeps 1800 first, okay? ETH went up 200% while BTC went up 40%. BTC goes sideways, ETH goes into parabola. Okay, this can happen during distributions. Pay attention, same approach. I cannot lose money from this point. I already took some profits. If it goes back down, I get stopped at the break even and will reassess. XPX wants to pump, great. I'll be benefiting from the ETH pump. So I'm perfectly fine with the stock market pumping. As you see here, TP1, TP2, TP3. Okay. Well, TP3 was actually above here, and then TP4 here. Again, I changed it probably later in this thread at some point. But that looked like this. All right. And it hit TP1, TP2, TP3, not TP4. Okay? So if this exact same thing was to play out for Ethereum, you hit this, which we already hit, you hit this and this. Okay? It would mean you go above here, you go above here, but maybe you don't go above here. Okay, so here, the reason why it's a lower probability the higher you go is because it gets heavier as you go higher. Okay, that's my view. So if the stock market wants to continue pumping, I mean, I'm happy because Ethereum is going up and I'm long Ethereum and I'm bullish on Ethereum and I'm following the plan. So I'm not going to deviate away from my plan. And you can see what my plan is. Okay, all right. So I'm following the plan. This was the initial plan and this is what it's doing. All right, you get it? So I am not, under any circumstance, going to be shorting Ethereum because I do not want to put my stop loss on the other side of these equal highs, on these equal highs and these equal highs. If I am taking some profits here, it's just simply because I want to put myself in a situation where I cannot lose money. Okay, where regardless of what happens, I will make money from this whole thing. Okay, now a few people have asked me, how do you play this if, let's say, you haven't gotten in yet on Ethereum, even though I've been talking about this? There's a few ways to play this. Either you buy a hidden bullish divergence on, let's say, 4 hour, let's say here, higher high on the price action here, lower high on the RSI, but that means what? Okay, higher low on the price action, lower low on the RSI, hidden bullish divergence. You can play ping pong that can form multiple drives of reference points of regular bearish divergence. Okay, normally hidden bullish divergences are worth getting in on for that is in my opinion how you buy the dip in an uptrend, but the probability is lower if you have a prior regular bearish divergence. So we might get a really big pullback in the stock market soon. I mean, look, this is a blow off top right here in my view. So I think that's pretty inevitable that we're gonna get a big pullback in the stock market soon. Okay, um, and that will obviously affect this and Bitcoin. So I haven't talked about Bitcoin, but Ethereum and Bitcoin they move the same way. It's just Ethereum has been outperforming BTC. So why the fuck would I care about Bitcoin right now? Okay, so um, my view is this: Ethereum looks amazing. I mean, it like on the higher time frames, it could pull back here 10, 20% sure at any point. Either it does it here, I'm thinking, or it does it here. How would you play this? You either buy a hidden bullish divergence, that's how you buy the dip in uptrend. Again, if you have a regular bearish divergence or if you have multiple drives for regular bearish divergence, it decreases the probability of that being a good higher low, potential higher low for you to buy. Okay. Another way to play it, if you're a scalper, my logic, I'm just going to show it here from a price action perspective. You see all of these equal highs right here on the price. Okay. Let's say that we continue going up and we do something like this. We come up here and then we do this and then we do that and then we continue and we do this. Okay. Right here. Okay. I am literally top longing with my stop loss beneath here because we're grinding into this with higher lows. Okay. And we have literally touched this so many times at this point, right? That I would be willing to buy that. So I don't use short patterns like everyone else does, whatever they call them, bull flags and ascending and descending triangles and so on. That's just a way to it's a way to put a name on price action market structure, right? What I'm referring to is here you have higher lows, okay, but you have higher highs. So in this case, I would be bullish, expecting that. All right. So that's another way that you could trade this. And the next thing is reclaims. So let me just explain the thought process. Wherever short sellers started selling into, you can expect liquidity to be there. Okay. Right here, you see this? These are the lows that broke down. Okay. Which is what I spoke about in my thread. And you know that. Where is it? Um, it's in the beginning of this thread. So these equal lows, right? So we broke below it. It capitulated 35% beneath the lows, if I'm correct. Okay, it would be 35%. Yes, 35% from the 2100 equal lows. Okay. Now, Ethereum, when it broke down here, it rejected here. Okay. The next time it comes down here, if it actually does that, short sellers did try to, whenever it got in here, they tried to sell into it. They tried to short sell into this. They got obliterated. Okay, you didn't hear me talking about that because I think I know what's going on there. Okay. So there would likely be liquidity there, and you would go higher and higher and higher. And then wherever you stop, right? If it's right here, if it's right here, or if it's right here or a new all-time high, I cannot know that. Okay, that's why it's a probability. It decreases as you go higher because it gets heavier. All right. So that's the way that I'm approaching that. You can approach it however you want. It doesn't matter to me. Okay. So these are the ways that I will be trading Ethereum. You do whatever you want. I'm not giving you advice. We likely get a pullback soon. I mean, everything has been going straight up. You gotta take your own trades. You have to manage it yourself. But this is just to answer a few questions that people have asked me, right? So you feel free to do whatever you want. Okay. I will. It also depends. Again, just like I showed with the price action right there. If we come up here and we do this, and then 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 we do this, and we're grinding against the, I'll literally top long right here with a stop loss beneath here expecting this. But it's the same thing to the downside. If we go down here now and we start bouncing here, right? And then it does this. I mean, I can't be bullish. Then I'm bearish again. Why? Because you're doing the same thing in reverse. It's all about market structure. As time progresses, things change. I do not buy and hold. I'm a trader. So my bias can pivot, okay? My bias right now on higher time frame on Ethereum is up, okay? Unless the stock market gets the lower high here and collapses, then Ethereum probably collapses with it, regardless of market structure above, okay? But I don't think that's likely for Ethereum to collapse, okay? It can pull back big, 10, 15%, 20% worst case scenario, but I don't think it's going to collapse, okay? Because this was my initial idea, right? So you do whatever you want, okay? I am not telling you what to do. Do not come crying to me if something plays out or doesn't play out the way that I've been talking about it. I already de-risked a bit on Ethereum, and I'm showing you this analysis here before a potential pullback. And if it goes down, and let's say Ethereum collapses right now, that's fine. I've already taken profits. It will stop me at that break even, and then what? We will see. I will reassess what happens at that point. All right? So you do whatever you want. Take care. Enjoy. Peace.